morning, everyone. Good morning, Team Steam. Good morning, Ramon, on this lovely fall, chilly morning, 26 degrees here in the great state of Iowa. How are you today?
Great. Thank you, Mindy Hahn. Thank you for that introduction. And thank you, everyone, joining us today here for more morning steam, Mindy, off an NFL Sundays. We get ready for a Monday night football game. But, we had definitely had some news come out of the games yesterday. Good games, too. Everyone's raved about how great the games were going to be. They definitely turned out to be all that. Uh, I don't know how much has changed in the marketplace. I guess maybe off the field or the injury list affecting the marketplace more than the results yesterday. And we'll see what happens in tonight's game with the Saints and the Bucks. I went to bed early, Mindy. I thought get a cover with the Colts plus the points. How'd that turn out?
Not so good, Ramon. I kind of turned it after there was a fumble, interception, 54-10. That was horrible. What the what the hell? I mean, I thought the Colts were going to be able to hang in there too. And again, bad teams make mistakes, and that's kind of why they're bad teams. But they should have been able to hang in there with the Cowboys. But again, you take advantage of what you get, I guess.
Talk about compounding the mistakes, and it was just an
Right.
avalanche there at the end in the night game as Dallas rolls. I don't know if anybody got too excited about, obviously with the high scoring performance, maybe I don't know if they get much of a bump this week up with those other teams because Philadelphia looked so good as well against Tennessee, kind of holding their place, I thought. And as far as the AFC is concerned, Mindy, the big game, your big game of the day. Chiefs, I don't know, maybe can't figure out the Bengals. Joey B looks like Big Brother now when he congratulates Patrick Mahomes. He looks like the cool guy all of a sudden, if he wasn't already. But, those two could be back at it again. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with the result necessarily for your Chiefs. A road loss in a game they were favored, maybe inappropriately so, considering the way the game played out. Maybe it should have just been Bengals as a short favorite. Why not?
Well, sure, but I think it's one of those like Vegas is going to go with the money, and the public see the Chiefs. I think a little bit more as that money team. Even though we had kind of figured it out, the Bengals had already beaten them 3 times in a row. And again, we know that the Chiefs, until they get into later games, sometimes don't really have that killer instinct for whatever reason. This time here, it came down to a fumble more than likely. Maybe a little bit of a Mahomes injury, Butker not making a kick that he normally does. So the things kind of bounced in the ways of the Bengals as well. But they are no slouch team, that's for sure. I like how they play. And I think they'll only get better as well. I mean, I think the Chiefs are kind of top of the line. They are where they are. I don't know if there's a whole lot of room for improvement. I think they are what they are. They just have to not make, mistakes. But I think there's a little bit of improvement yet for these Bengals.
Well, if these two end up at the finish, I mean, they'll a guaranteed exciting game. I mean, both teams are able to do some things and have moments both ways. So I think, yeah, I thought, yeah, everybody was talking about how Kelsey disappeared. He did come, end up making it was a key play in the game, remember, but really for these two teams, they're riding high right now, I think, in the AFC. The other team that we can consider, uh, Miami against San Francisco. Well, we saw the news come out of that one, Mindy. So I don't
Yeah.
know if the result of the game was as big. We liked Miami. San Francisco obviously brings a whole lot of uh, different things to the table, not just at quarterback. We already knew that going in, but for uh, Jimmy G to go down, it did look as funny because the announcers really didn't talk about anything about his injury. But if you look at the injury, they didn't. They were saying, stepped on his foot, ankle. It looked like a broken foot right at the moment of impact on the first replay when he got stepped on. It almost looked like you could see the injury happen.
Indentation of the foot.
Yeah. So we saw what the Niners ended up having to do, and what do you think they will do moving forward? Obviously, we've seen teams have great, successful seasons, even win Super Bowls with backup quarterbacks, but technically Jimmy was the backup quarterback. So where do the Niners stand now?
I don't know. I think time's gonna tell on this one. Because I don't remember, who it was. One of the announcers, I think, said, he may have a good outing here, Purdy, this week, but then teams are going to come back and be able to go ahead and scheme against him the next time. So then it may be a different, a totally different game here as they go on. So I think with this one, I can't really say, what I think if it is going to impact him or if he's going to be able to, pull through and get this team some more wins, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I think they also signed another quarterback, or late last night, or early today, if I'm not mistaken, right from the Broncos team, something like that.
Was it Josh Johnson?
I can't remember. I can't remember who it was
Let me check real
right
quick.
now. But I mean, I feel terrible for Jimmy G, man. It's like coming back from the knee injury and now a broken foot, especially when I think they kind of had things rolling. And, I also, think that defense is just playing, pretty good. Like only gave up one touchdown now in six second halves, I think. So, that's keeping them in games. And we know defenses can win, championships, look at teams like the Ravens and such.
Yep, even bigger names in the past have gone on. I mean, some of the, the New York Giants way back did it with Hostetler, remember? So I really some marginal name, but Brock Purdy, I already like him better than 10 quarterbacks in the league. I see now what you're saying, that they signed Josh Johnson.
Okay, that's who it was.
I'm very familiar with him. I mean, he was the quarterback here in the University of San Diego back in the mid 2000s. That's the University of San Diego, the 1AA, FCS school now. But Josh Johnson's list of the teams he's played for, boy, I don't know, it's longer than Gaylord Perry, rest in peace, the number of teams that he's played for. And he's played for, several different leagues as well. But, he's played for about half the teams in the NFL as a backup. He's made many, many starts in the league. Never wowed anybody, because I'm not saying that didn't even recall who it was. And I for some reason I had heard it or something. Maybe they were talking about it when I was sleeping, and it was
right, telepathic.
Johnson's thrown played many times with many different teams. He's like been the backup that people sign sometimes in a situation like this. So I would think, given the chance between Purdy and Johnson, I don't know. They get Johnson in there. Maybe they go with Purdy a week. Maybe Johnson is the quarterback after that. Blake said, time for Cap finally, probably. So yeah, real bummer for Jimmy there. And as for the Dolphins, back on the AFC side, I don't know. I still think, people are kind of down on Tua again all of a sudden after yesterday's game, but the numbers speak for themselves. Yes, his talent that he has to throw to, it's pretty strong, but that's part of it. I mean, so I don't know. Miami, they're definitely in a notch down from those. I think from those those three AFC top contenders. I'm not forgetting Buffalo. I'm just talking about yesterday's games.
Right.
So, and we saw other action in the morning slot. We came up with some winners in there, Mindy. We had the Steelers at Atlanta. I thought they were pretty convincing in a way, despite the offense. It kind of, not, but that's what we were expecting, certainly. And we also had Detroit. Look out.
Yeah,
Detroit.
wow. Look at that go.
Detroit all of a sudden is, they're not printing playoff tickets or anything, but they definitely are alive for a playoff spot. So we had a winner there as well with Team Steam yesterday. So let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and check out who did what yesterday on the site. And Tiffany and Mindy are right up there. How about that? Great job. yesterday. Combine you guys for 23-13. Nick was in there with a good day, and Sam and Collins with 4-2. Mindy, what do you have going on? We got a light card today here on the show. We're going to cover NBA. We're going to cover the football game, of course, to lead it off. And we're also going to talk about NHL. Not college slate isn't too exciting. I imagine you got a premium out of it, though.
I did. I actually found 2, and it's in the same game. So I'm going to be on the side and total of that one. Those are my only 2 plays in college basketball. We'll be in on tonight's game as well, in the NFL, that is. And then also looking at a 3-pack in the NHL and a 3-pack in the NBA. They're locked and loaded and ready to go.
All right, pick those up, and don't forget to use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. Go over to Tony'sPicks.com, click on the All Cappers tab. I checked in. I just brought this up to show I did go 6-5, but hey, everybody, nice job with the team yesterday. Actually, Tony 4-2 also. Brandon 5-4. So we had profitable cappers yesterday on the site, but click on the All Cappers tab to get our list of cappers. You can find the one that maybe has picked your games or has the style that you prefer. And you can find there again. You can always check the upcoming games, the pick ticker, as Tony likes to call it, and you can see what everybody's up to. Look at this one, Mindy, because coming up top of the hour, Croatia and Japan at the World Cup. Paul and Nick both have a pick on that game, and that's the featured contests today. Just mentioned. This will be our World Cup coverage right here. Croatia and Japan is the game to start in about 45 minutes. Croatia, pretty significant favorite. Japan, they've played obviously to get to this point pretty well. I understand Croatia might have the advantage on them, but Japan's already really had 2 nice results, 2 good performances, I would say. So they might be live in that game. And then later on, Brazil and South Korea. South Korea's looked terrific, but Brazil, Mindy, 7 straight unders for Brazil. Might want to take a look. Now the total is in that game. It's a reasonable 2 3/4 on the Asian handicap. Under 2.5 is paying at about plus $1.15 in that game. Just want to mention Brazil with a streak of unders right now. Yes, they have big time scoring potential. South Korea knows that. They know the only chance they have is to make sure Brazil does not get in the net. That's going to limit South Korea's chances as well. Once Brazil gets in the net, then watch out. In-game possibilities here. Look to the game to go under. If Brazil gets that first goal, or when they do, the tide could shift. But if they can just keep it, if South Korea can somehow get there with a scoreless first half, that will, obviously help the under, but more give you that chance to keep it under 2.5 at least. Brazil gets that first goal early. Look to hedge out or do something else with it. But Brazil, 7 straight unders at the World Cup. So go, the pick tickers there, list all the games that we have loaded, including an early start from Tiffany. She's got a game. Just want to let everybody know. This is our college basketball coverage.
Right.
We're not going to preview any games. I will mention San Diego State plays Troy tonight that I'm interested in. Steam's already come in there on under 136. The other decent game, maybe just because it's Gonzaga, they're going to host Kent. They're a big favorite there. They'll be looking to do something to boost themselves up a little bit after an un-Gonzaga-like start. So
Right.
all the games here you see today, Tiffany, Mindy with games, Prav with games also as well. Collins in there loaded up. Ben has tonight's game. New Orleans and Tampa. That's a good segue right there. We'll get out of Tony'sPicks.com and head over for the previews so we can get into tonight's game with New Orleans traveling to take on Tampa Bay. Mindy, let's pop it up there and get rolling. We welcome your comments. We welcome your predictions. We want to put it up on the screen as we go along here and get your picks as well and try to see if we can come to a consensus in this one and all the games that we previewed today. So What do you think, Mindy, in this one with the Saints? We've seen some bad performances from the Saints. This isn't a great matchup for them. It's just that Tampa Bay has their own issues and struggles. Uh, as fun as they are, and with Tom, he's still fun. He's still fun, Tom. Uh, they don't blow any. They never don't blow. They don't beat anybody uh, by margin too often, or at least they always make it interesting.
Right. I think the crazy thing here in this one is that Tampa Bay has a losing record and still leads the NFC South. I think that's like, what's crazy to me at this time of the season in the NFL that we still have a, losing record here on top. The Saints, though, have 15 players on the injury list. Tampa Bay has 10 people on the injury list. It's going to be, I don't know. I don't know what the quality is going to look like here today. It looks like, the Saints might have, though, some guys, out on, the defensive backfield. So maybe Tom could get something together. Who knows? This one unders 4-0 in the last 4 in Tampa Bay, under 11-3 in the last 5 overall. If you take a look at the Saints in week 13 games and in December, they're 4-0 to the under. Almost every trend has been to the under this season or this year for Tampa Bay. 6-1 the last 7 overall. It's been to the under. Saints 4-6 to the under this year. Tampa Bay 2-7 to the under. Taking the under, Ramon.
I don't know if I have any more under trends I can fit in there. I can expand on them a little bit, but they're not as strong as the ones you came with. I mean, yeah, Tampa Bay 2-9 to the under overall. Long-term series under when these two teams meet at this location. And here's the thing. I mean, those games were with Drew Brees. I mean, right? And but not Tom. So I guess there were a little bit of overlap, but I mean, I'm talking about, basically
Right.
7 years.
There's a couple years overlap, maybe.
7 years of matchups, though, dating back when Tampa also had pretty good teams, though, obviously, decent teams. They were always trying to get over the hump, really. So, yeah, I mean, just see, Olave, as much as I always tout him here, I mean, he's going to have it's about as tough a matchup as you can get with this coverage unit, I think, on Tampa Bay. So we're going to end up on the under. I don't know how long we can talk about it and see if we already got Scotch with his, trends going under, says under written all over it. Blake says he's going under. So give a few seconds here for anyone else that wants to chime in on the under. No one's on at the side, Mindy, I guess. New Orleans 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 meetings, if I'm not mistaken here. So it's just that, man, they've already come up with some real bad offensive performances. It makes you really wonder, what they could accomplish offensively, if anything.
Right.
Kamara not having a great year and all that. Look, Tampa Bay has their own problems running the football. We know that. So I don't know. I mean, I guess prop wise, you could look to Evans and Godwin and whatnot, but I think under looks like the call for us. I don't see any reason not to go under in this one. C-Man gives us one more vote. So why don't we put it down? And, okay. We're getting some other comments on the game. We get the old, don't forget about Dalton in prime time. Good comments now coming in on tonight's Monday Night Football game. Decent game. I guess we wish we could have a little better, but that's okay. We'll take it. Saints and Buccaneers. Let's go under 41. Maybe we'll have a premium. I don't know, Mindy, on the side. Did you?
I do have a premium on the side.
Okay. Oh, great moment.
Check it out at TonySpix.com to find out.
The kickers will be tired.
Right.
All right. Monday Night Football. That's a look. All right, we're going to go over to the NBA for more action. We're going to have to give our action from the NBA and NHL tonight. Let's get into this one. Appreciate all the comments on the game. Matt talked about Saints getting embarrassed. We showed that one. Yep. All right. In the NBA tonight, Mindy, the Milwaukee Bucks and Orlando Magic. Orlando still, they're an exciting team with their young rookie. They just aren't having much success right now. And I don't know. No one's writing off the Bucks just because they, have a bad game now and then. But they're still, the Bucks number two in the East. I think it's fair to say.
Right. I've been having, decent success on the Magic when they're getting, big numbers like that. They are 4-1 against the spread their last 5 versus a team with a winning record. The Magic, lost the last game out to the Raptors, though pretty big. I think Bucks are down a few players, injuries. I think the Magic can keep it close. I'll take the Magic plus 9.5 here.
All right, Mindy's going to take the Magic. They're just 3-7 against a number in their last 10. That does concern me a little bit. Milwaukee still a pretty strong spread team, 12-7-1 against the spread. As a favorite, we'll note that this series, Milwaukee pretty steady to the under of late. 1-7 on the road to the under. This one's been steamed up, but I don't know. It seems like Milwaukee might be able to do a job here against Orlando defensively. I think that's the way I kind of want to look at this one. I'm worried about the steam. I can't give it out as a premium, I don't think, but sure is going up pretty high when it was as low as 225. I'm showing right now. In fact, let me do the show properly like I like to do. Give myself a couple of points, Mindy.
Right.
Yep, and here's Scotch coming in saying he'll take the Bucks. I don't want to just. In fact, no. In fact, the number is 226. So there's been some buyback actually from a high of 228. Wow, that's pretty interesting. I'll take the under in this one with Milwaukee and Orlando. Mindy says take Orlando tonight. All right.
Sounds good.
Clippers and the Hornets. The Clippers here are up to a 4-point favorite, and the total is 216.5.
Yeah, Hornets putting up 109 a game here. Clippers 107. Hornets 4-0-1 against the spread the last 5. 3 last 5 playing on a day's rest. I kind of like the Hornets here today at home. I'll take them plus 2.5.
All right. Mindy will take Charlotte plus 2.5 in this one. This one's it's gone all over the place, actually. It was as low as 1.5 up to 4.5, settles back down here right now.
Oh, that's right. It was at 4, wasn't it? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 4 okay. Right now. So
Hornets plus 4.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay. There we go. All right.
Getting a much better number here on that. Is this one? I don't know. I think that's where we're going to find a settlement. I don't know. Again, it's already touched 4.5 and been bought back down a little bit here. Clippers 3-12 to the under as a favorite. Charlotte 3-8 to the under at home. Clippers always done pretty well here in Charlotte. They have covered 6 out of the last 7 meetings. The sharps have already come in on the under in this game, maybe based on some of those trends, but I don't know. I mean, even I'm going to fade these trends tonight, even though those are some stiff trends to the under. Clippers have been a pretty steady under. I'm going to look to go over in this one at reasonable price, 216.5 with Clippers and Charlotte. Mindy says take Charlotte here. Sorry, sharps, going against you.
It happens.
All right, Mindy, I say Bucks number 2 because I don't know. I've just got to rate the Celtics number 1. What they're doing is kind of uncanny to me right now. They look just very, very sharp in my eyes. I mean, you can't necessarily put them ahead, I guess, of Milwaukee because of the Giannis factor. But I just think right now, especially considering where they stand right now, that what they're doing is impressive.
Yeah, I kind of, don't like this spread. I think it's a little bit, a little bit odd. So, that kind of concerns me in a way. But both these teams, they're winning. But Celtics not really putting up, the amount of points as I thought that they should. Only putting up 103 in the last one. Raptors, on the other hand, put up 121. I also kind of think the Raptors here are solid on defense. I don't know. I kind of like, their defense versus a team that, likes to shoot the three here, thrives on, a lot of ball movement. I don't know. I'm going to go with the Raptors here. They're 4-1 against the spread in the last 5. I like the Raptors, even though I don't really like the spread much. And especially, I know that the Celtics is a good team. I'm waiting for them to kind of, break out a little bit more here. Just doesn't seem like they're really ready to go quite yet.
All right. Mindy says take the Raptors. I think this is a big game, actually, in the East. I think everyone agrees there. It's an important game. I mean, Toronto, they are 9-2 straight up at home, and this is basically almost a pick 'em game. Now, granted, Boston is 8-2 straight up against the spread in their last 10. Boston 9-0 against the spread. Last 9 trips into Toronto. I can't go with Toronto here with you, Mindy, but I am going to look to go under. Boston's 3-8 to the under on the road. Yes, Boston gets off to those maniac starts of late. They didn't last game, obviously, and that went under as well. I think maybe on the road when they get into a little bit tougher game, it's a little bit tougher to get off to some of those great starts. So I will go under in this one, the 227. Toronto is actually a favorite now, Mindy. I didn't correct it there. I will, just in case they take a snapshot. But I mean, obviously, when you're dealing with, getting 1.5 and laying 1, definitely a bit of a difference. And I'm not sure, what the move. I don't think there's anything other than maybe public action. Maybe because of, like I said, Toronto is very, very solid at home right now. So, and here's Scotch says maybe try with them in the first half in that one. So Blake says Celtics may have tired legs here tonight off the win against Brooklyn yesterday. We know that it's been tough. That might be also part of the move there. It's always one extra step when you go into Toronto because you got to walk through the customs line and all that. It's streamlined for the athletes, but it's still an extra hassle that you have to go through when you're traveling through. So just takes an extra few minutes. That's all with these guys. So just want to also go back and if I can, I won't interrupt our stream of this game, but there was an appropriate comment in the chat. So just want to answer that. It was regarding the Clipper game. So this is kind of in between there, but I don't want to skip that because it was a very solid comment. And I don't want to blow off anything with the clip. It's just that right now the status for both Kawhi and PG, it's kind of the same every game, right? They're going to be questionable every game out moving forward until further notice, I guess. And we'll get the word when they go in and the line will move appropriately. But until then, I mean, I don't know because I get so disappointed because of the 2 stars being out. I'm sorry that they're hurt. I'm never going to say that some players can't suck it up, and maybe if it was close to the postseason, but you got to get in there, especially when the team isn't perfect and playing well. No matter what your injuries are. I mean, if you can play 1 out of every 4 games, that seems kind of weird. So don't mean to blow that question off or that statement. Just a fact of what's going on with these guys right now. Probably it's just real disappointing to me. So, but again, never want to say anything about injured players. You want to respect the fact that they've come forth and said they're injured. It takes courage to do that sometimes, even if it is every single game. All right. And we got next the Thunder and the Hawks, and the Hawks are a 6-point favorite. This one's gone way up, Mindy, from just within the last. These lines are not even 2 hours old. I knew we had a short card. I woke up kind of late today, so Thunder and the Hawks are up to 236 in the last 2 hours, maybe 90 minutes.
236, huh? Wow, 5 points. Each of these teams, they've won 2 straight, but the Thunder is scoring 127 over those last couple. Hawks 121. Thunder, they're 4-1 against spread the last 5 here. Overall, I like the Thunder. I'll take them +6 today.
All right. Well, we got to look for a spot, I think, and that might be the one that I might favor as well. After all, OKC 8-4 against the spread on the road. Here's an injury update. Trey Young is probable. That news probably came out officially. It looked like he was on track, but looks like he's been upgraded to probable within the last 90 minutes or so. I think that is part of the reason why this total has moved up. But you know what? The spread necessarily hasn't moved up, and I think that's kind of credit to how well the Thunder has played, getting numbers on the road. But you can't help but ignore OKC 11-2 to the over last 13 games, and 9 of the last 10 meetings between these two have gone over. It is an East-West series, but still with some of these players that have been around for a few years, certainly. So yeah, a big move to the over off of that low of 231. Still looks kind of solid, but man, it's hard to recommend the over. Let's take OKC plus 6 points. They've been the sneaky moneymaker for us, for everybody this season, I think. So comments coming in. Scott says OKC, and Blake says Thunder takes the points, so we're going to do it. Let's go our first consensus winner here with the Thunder plus the points.
All right, let's do it.
Good job there, Team Steam. We got off to a good start yesterday, the Team Steam, but it kind of faded there a little bit. All right, next up, 76ers and the Rockets. Well, can think of the big trade, but when I think of these teams, but also this year, I think of Philly playing above par. I'd say considering that kind of worried about them in the beginning. They've come on so strong. Houston hasn't quite gotten it together yet.
Yeah, I mean, but the 76ers still, I see them, only scoring, 99 points a game over their last 3. Rockets putting up 107. Rockets are still, I think they're decent. They're decent. I hate these games, actually. Yeah. The Rockets are 4-1 against the spread in the last 5, following a straight up loss. I like the Rockets. I seem like, I've been kind of hit or miss with them, but I'll take them here today again. Kind of wishing I was getting a little bit more, closer to 9 or 10 here, but I'll take them at plus 8.
When you say, do you mean good teams against bad teams, or good teams on the road against bad? What? I don't.
Well, I'm just saying, I feel like the 76ers have been playing well, and I know the Rockets. To me, they're just like this mediocre team that they sometimes play well, sometimes don't. I mean, they can rebound decently, but they're not great shooters. So I don't know. I just struggle with it. Again, it's like I feel like I'm on the Rockets quite a bit, and again, they're not ones that cover very often here either. But I just see the 76ers being pretty woeful scoring. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and take the Rockets here this one.
All right. Well, that's fair enough then. I didn't know if it was like,
No, it's just, I just feel like I get in these spots, right, where I'm taking the Rockets a lot. I know they're not always covering. You know what I mean? So I feel like I get maybe into kind of sucked into this vortex with the Rockets.
All right. Well, Mindy does take the Rockets plus 7.5. Yeah, I can't get on them necessarily. Like I said, I with the
right.
Philadelphia as a team that, like I said, it's been a while now since they got off to the hokey start, but 7-3 against the spread last 10. They've also gone 4-1 against the spread last 5 in the series. They're also 4-1 against the spread off of a straight up loss. Good team that fights back a little bit. I won't go against you necessarily here. There's not a lot of indicators as far as the total is concerned, but you heard what Mindy said about the scoring here and the fact that Philly is on the road. I don't think it will be a problem as far as Houston posing a problem defensively. I just think that Philadelphia plays an underrated brand of defense, and I'm going to go under in this one with Philly and Houston. And Mindy said take the Rockets. All right, she's getting an extra half a point there with the 8. Let's go on now with the Miami going up against the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are just a 1-point favorite now. And this total's dropped 2.5 points. in the last 90 minutes or so to 224.
Yeah, and all these totals here, like in the last one, I have that total at like basically a half a point. So I feel like I can't really pick one either way, and then I don't necessarily like that Rockets play, but that's probably where I would tip, just so you kind of know where I'm coming from with that. But the Grizzlies here, they're putting up points. I like it. Heat 26th in scoring. Grizzlies are 8. Grizzlies 5-0 against the spread the last 5 here. 14-3 against the spread in their last 7. Oh, I don't know, Monday games. So I'm going to take the Grizzlies here at home, -1.
Mindy's on the Grizz, laying just 1 point. They were laying 2. Now they're laying 1. They're 8-2 straight up at home, and Miami's just 3-8 straight up on the road. So, if anything, that's favors the Grizzlies a little bit. Maybe they do struggle away from home a little bit. We kind of see them in some spots because Memphis in those home games 7-3 against the spread. So in those home games, so I don't know. I think Memphis might be in the right spot here. We do have Blake says he likes the over in the game. The steam has definitely come in on the under, definitely legitimate steam from 226.5 to 224. So I don't know. There's value certainly on that total, but I'm going to have to agree with Mindy here, and we're going to take a premium consensus with the Memphis Grizzlies. Miami still has to work some things out. I still think we can lump Memphis in with, good, decent teams. Still plenty of room for improvement, especially defensively. But and again, I'll probably need some work there on the total. But the fact that the total has gone down is a pretty big indicator there. So, all right, we're on the Grizzlies here for our second play. 2 more left. We start to move further out west and take a look at Phoenix here. The Mavericks are a 3-point favorite in this one. Chris Paul's status, obviously, an issue here. The total is 221.5.
Yeah, I still like the Suns today. Even though, like you said, Chris Paul is out, they still are scoring, 8 points more here than this Mavericks team. Suns are 15-5 against the spread versus the Mavericks off of a win over their last 20 games here as well. So I think I'm going to take the Suns today at +3.
They are just such a gritty team. I mean, we've seen Paul out before. Phoenix 3-0 against the spread as a dog. All 3 of those games went over. We tend to think of, when he's in there that, they have a more stable approach, a systematic approach, maybe even more defensive approach. Dallas just 5-13-1 against the spread as a favorite. And, that to me, so, look, if it's only 3, it's still a pretty high-profile matchup with a Phoenix team, one of the best in the West, obviously, and Dallas, I don't know, one of the biggest disappointments in the West, certainly so far, right? Dallas has pretty much controlled this series, though, 5-1 against the spread last 6 meetings, and 5 of those 6 games have gone under. I think that does say something, really. There's been steam here on the over, but it hasn't gone up too much, considering that the steam was widely reported, up from 221 to 221.5, maybe even went to 222. Scotch says Mavericks fade train.
Right.
Well, this is the spot. The spot says Phoenix. The series, though, says Dallas. And so that kind of does concern me. I'm going to end up going under on this. I'm going to fade the little tick up on the steam. I'm going to go under in Phoenix and Dallas. Mindy says take the Suns today. I don't mind that play. All right. One more in the NBA between the Pacers and the Warriors. Mindy, we see the Warriors are finally back to double digits. They're up to 11 now. It opened as low as 9. They're now 11. They've been covering spreads at home. Just still have those road problems. Won't even talk about it because the totals dropped here, though, from 240 to 236.5. Big dropper.
Right. Yeah, the Warriors, they're third in scoring, 118 points a game. But the Pacers really aren't far behind, right? They rank 8th, 115 points a game. Pacers 3-1 against the spread versus the Warriors over the last 2 seasons. Oh man, that spread's pretty big. I'll take the Pacers plus 11.
All right. Well, I don't know. I'm not saying I figured you might, but I think
I
with
figured
the
you
spread,
might.
I don't know. Again, Warriors are getting numbers at home. They're 9-3 against the spread at home. Pretty good series for Indiana, even though this is East versus West. Indiana 4-1 last 5 meetings. Golden State's 5-1 against the spread their last 6 games. This team's gone under, or actually there was some early reported steam on the over. Maybe I should see if there's any kind of injury information that's come in on this game. The way this thing is dropping right now, but I'm not seeing anything at this point that's too concerning because to me, I think it looks like one of those games, and I'm finally getting the right line move. Whereas sometimes I get so caught up in what looks like it's going to be. I know Halliburton's out still, so Wiggins questionable. I'm not going to fret on this one. It seems like too often when I look at games like this where I'm like, oh, here's a 240 game and the line is around there or even goes up. Here it looks like the line is actually going my way for once. I'm going to go over 236.5. I finally feel decent about one of these 240 projections that I have. That the line's actually gone away from me. Probably would be, I don't know, maybe even a premium for me. It's just I've struck. If I had to base like some of my NBA premium losses, it's been on totals over in the high 230, 240 range, two high 230s, low 240 range. And it doesn't get much higher than that as far as 241, 242. But I sometimes end up with a projection of 245, and I'm like, here's an over, and then it does not, and it would seem obvious, maybe just always go under big numbers, but you're trying to incorporate, what you pace out at with the power ratings and the projections. So, hey, Barber Life, nice to see Barber Life in here, Mindy. I don't know if we've ever met, so welcome to Team Steam. Hope you join us. Great to have you. Wow, I want to thank everybody who was in the chat so far. We'll get to that later, but thanks to everyone. Great comments so far, including Barber Life. I could probably use that talking about. All right, we're going to go to the NHL now. And this one, we got NHL tonight. It's a 6-game card, right?
Right.
No college hoop tonight. Like I said, it wasn't the greatest card. I mean, I don't know what we were going to do. Massachusetts, Lowell, and Long Island, Kansas and Charleston Southern, North Dakota State, and Portland.
I mean, we could, but I don't know if it's interesting, to the chatters.
There's our coverage. More coverage. Let's get right into the hockey because there's some. Well, we gotta tell you in a minute. You already know. You guys all in the chat already know, but we got a killer game tonight coming up. This one's not bad. Blues and the Rangers with Bennington and Shesterkin. Maybe I'll call up the goal here. But in this one, Mindy, I'm currently showing. I don't know if the dogs will be barking here with this one. The Rangers, they're $1.65, 6/15. Looks pretty solid.
You did not hear that, Ramon. You did not hear that. The Blues are 6-7 on the road. Rangers 4-6 at home. Oh, the home team here, 4-1 the last 5 meetings. I'm taking those Rangers at -165.
All right, Mindy's on.
Another one, Ramon. We got more first-time chatters, I believe.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Chip is coming in.
Oh, Chip Plylar. I think I could say that right. Chip Plylar. We'll get to that game. That's the one. That's what we're talking about as far as the big game. We'll probably spend 3 minutes on that one. But as far as this one's concerned, Mindy, yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to get with you right now and on the Rangers in this one at this, I think, a decent price. Rangers, they've definitely been struggling a little bit with just one win out of their last 6 games, but I'm not too impressed with St. Louis coming in. They're still the team that's under 500. St. Louis has gone over in 5 of their last 6 games, and 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone over, but I don't know. I might even look to the to the under here. St. Louis is 5-7 to the under as a dog, while the Rangers are 8-12 to the under as a favorite. So on a flat 6, I'm not sure. I know we're laying a price here, Mindy, but let's take the Rangers minus $1.65. We might get it at $1.60. Maybe not. It's going to be close.
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to be right about there. We'll take the Rangers tonight. Anybody else joining us in the chat with picks? Hey, let's take a look at this one now with the Avalanche and the Flyers. And this one, I'm showing the Avs. They're down to about $1.95 here. Total 6 under 15.
Yeah, and I'm going to look to the Flyers here on the puck line today. Avalanche 8-5, road puck line. Flyers, on the other hand, 7-6, home puck line here. Home team is also 5-7 in the last 22 meetings here. Yeah, so I mean, I'll take a chance here on those Flyers today, getting a goal and a half.
Yeah, and again, I mean, we're citing the fact that the home team, 5 but again, the Flyers are getting the puck and a half. This is their strong point a little bit as far as the puck line is concerned, right? You mentioned how they're 14-8 on the puck line. So they're, as 14-8 as a puck line dog, which they are today, and laying just $1.50. So I think that's an okay price for the Flyers there. The Colorado 4-8 to the under on the road. Philadelphia 4-8 to the under at home. Boy, that seems kind of interesting. Let's go ahead and take the Flyers. Maybe it'll be a low score. We'll take them on the puck line, plus 1.5. I think, and laying a little bit of price here again, minus $1.50, Mindy.
Yes, I think that was it.
Go ahead and try the Flyers. Look, I give the Flyers a lot of grief, but they're, playing well enough at this point, considering. I mean, I'm not worried about 8-12-5 right now. I think that maybe they can turn the corner a little bit moving forward. I'm going to start to go with them a little bit more. I think you're going to see the Flyers maybe improve a little bit.
All right.
Measurable.
Consensus play.
Okay, 2 for 2 now. Well, we have a consensus play on this one. This is the big game of the night. Probably the big game of the night in all three sports, even over that Boston-Toronto basketball game and Monday Night Football. This is a great, great matchup with Vegas. They're a measly 18-7 compared to Boston. They're on their way, Mindy. You look at best 30 game starts in NHL history. It's going to be tough to be the best, but right now, the Bruins, this is impossible what they're doing with 20 wins already in 23 games. I don't know. Are they being overlooked by the media? They're not talking enough. Do I just not pay enough attention to the talking heads because they're 14-0 at home and just awesome?
Right. It's one of those that, like you said, you have Thompson in the goal. He's at 2.54 goals allowed. And then Olmark, only 1.93 goals allowed. I mean, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, what these two teams have been doing this year, I mean, the Knights totally rebounding, and then the Bruins just being, just on fire this season. But I'm going to take a look at the under in this one, under 6.5. Like I said, Thompson and Olmark in goal. I like where they are. VGK 4-6 to the under. Bruins 4-5 to the under. Unders 4-0 in the last 4 there in Boston as well. We'll be taking the under. Of course, I guess now it's at 6 and not 6.5 where it was earlier today.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why it can be a free play. At 6.5, though, I might actually be on board with you because I don't know. I actually think that they could reach the 6th goal, however, here, because I do think it's going to be close. Give Vegas a big time chance here, certainly, to make this the great game that it looks to be. You see, Chip says Vegas scores more goals on the road, and maybe over in their team total is worth a look. So he's kind of fading a little bit on what you had to say there. Butterscotch says roll with Boston until they are $1.70 or $1.75. That to me, maybe these are the two best teams in the league. Who knows? There's some other great teams out there. The defending champs are still there. Just talked about them, but I'm going to take the Knights on the puck line. I just
Okay.
have a great game here. I think 3-3 seems reasonable, and then gets into, the chancy portion of the game where you don't know what could happen. But Boston on a roll, can't lose at home. I'll take Vegas though on the puck line. Still paying a pretty
Is
good
it
price.
-185, something like that?
Probably. Maybe I can get down to $1.70 if I
Okay.
shop good, but either way, it's one of those type of games where if you're laying the Bruins, you're laying $1.70. If you're taking the puck line, you're probably laying $1.70. So
Right.
either way, you're laying a price unless you're taking. Easy for me to say, but I don't want to buck Boston here and what's going on after I hyped them up like that. And I do have my concerns at 6 with that total. So, all right. And C-Man says Vegas on the puck line. I believe he means there. So, good comments from everyone on the big game tonight in hockey.
Should be a good one. Can't wait.
All right. The Capitals and the Oilers in this one. I'm showing right now the Oilers are $1.55. Total has gone down. It's probably 6.5 over 15, and it might even be heading to a flat 6.5 here soon.
Yeah. Well, I'm taking the over here in this one. It's 4-1 the last 5 meetings between these two. Also 5-0 in the Capitals' last 5 here overall. I'm looking forward to a high score here. Taking the over.
Well, that might give some variance to the game. I mean, Washington has not been very good on the road. They're just 3-8 so far this season. But man, I kind of like the spot for Washington here. They're not terrible. They're 10-12-4 overall. Edmonton still 3 games above 500. Washington has gone under in 6 of their last 7 games, but Edmonton over in 5 straight, you said, and the 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone over with a push. Man, Washington's going to have to bring it tonight defensively and in goal, I think, for me to get the result that I want. But I'm going to agree with, I'm actually going to go money line with Washington in this one. I think C-Man is saying
I think that's fair.
puck line and the under, I think he's saying there with that comment. I don't want to misinterpret that. Just correct me if I'm wrong. Otherwise, we'll leave it as is. That he likes Washington puck line and under here, feels like. So we got 2 plays there. And see if we can get a third out of this card, Mindy, with next up.
Sounds good.
Arizona Coyotes going up against the Calgary Flames. Calgary 330, total 6.
Yeah, and this is going to be same thing, kind of like what we talked about with the Flyers here. Coyotes 10-8 on the road puck line, and if you look at the Flames, they're only 4-10 on their home puck line. We'll be taking those Wile Coyotes today on the puck line. What is it? Plus about 100, it looks like.
Great price, and I'm going to do it. I mean, I don't know. Have I been on them every time this
Perhaps
season as a puck line dog? If I have, I don't think I'm doing 2. They're 13-9. You said puck line dogs, so
right.
I'll take them with you. Let's make that at least our third play here. I'm okay with that. Calgary, you mentioned at puck line at home. They're 5-12 as a puck line favorite as well, most of the time at home. So that correlates with what you said. And Arizona, if anything, I still put them as playing better than what I expected with 7 wins with a 7-11-4 record. I think that is above what I was expecting for Arizona as of right now. So considering this is a 330 price, Calgary at home, whatever, they're still just a 500 team really overall, a little bit over 500. So let's take Coyotes again. And
all right, let's do it.
We've made money with them. I know we haven't scored every time with them on the puck line, but
no, but we're pretty close. I think we only missed like 1 or 2 actually.
Yeah, maybe I've just been on them more independently too. That could be, but when we come to a consensus, I think we'd actually break it down, right? Do we have puck? I don't know if we can. I don't know if they have puck.
Be able to find it on there.
Oh, okay. All right, we got Scotch with us, so we definitely
should come up as the spread, right? So we could take a look at it.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Nice.
All right. And so
Here we go. Last one for the day, I think, Ramon.
Team Steam with us there for a Team Steam
All right.
consensus, not just you and I. Yeah, last one here with the Canadians and the Canucks. Canucks $1.95. Yep, 6.5 over 15. Right on.
Geez, I'm going after this puck line again, Ramon. You know, Canadians 7-5 road puck line here. Canucks 5-6 at home. Canadians also 7-3 the last 10 in Vancouver, and 15-6 in the last 21 meetings. Oh my goodness, I got to be on Canadians here plus 1.5 goals at -150.
All right. Mindy says take the Habs plus 1.5 tonight.
The Have-Nots.
Yeah, against the Canucks. I don't mind that. I mean, Vancouver 2-8 is a puck line favorite. That's not very good, and Montreal seems like a reasonable price. Series is 9-3-1 to the over last 13 meetings, but man, I was kind of I don't know. You got me intrigued now. I think with the Montreal puck line. Does anybody else in the chat seem to like it? I'm starting to think that might be the call here. Actually, I'm definitely not going to lay Vancouver in this situation. I mean, Montreal, they've been, better team overall, I think, than Vancouver this year. So why not? We'll find a way, right, Mindy?
Okay, we'll do it.
Fit it into our package there with this one. With limited games today, I think we can make something of this card. We only ended up with 2 NBA, I think. So I don't know.
Okay, we got some late steam from Butterscotch here, you know.
Oh, great. Okay. Great. Then it is official on a consensus play, Team Steam. Not just, I think it always feels better when we get someone from the chat to be on the side that we're on. So we all sweat it together.
That's
Team
right.
Steam. You had your chance. You can't come in tomorrow and say bad pick.
No
one can come in tomorrow and say bad pick on any of the picks. And we also we sometimes say that we definitely say when we're against, right? We kind of humbly say, oh, we disagree or whatever. So, but no one can come in tomorrow and say, yeah, that was a crummy one when you had your chance. You had your chance right here to say it. All right, Mindy, great job on the show. Let's stop by Tony'sPicks.com one more time, see what's going on over there, and get everybody on board today with our selections and our site. There we go.
Here, show us that that puck line. Why don't you, while you're at it?
Say it again, dear.
Show us that puck line on the Who's Hot. I'm interested now.
To show how it's done, right? So click on the All Cappers tab to find all the cappers. This is if you're going to, let's just do this right now too, Mindy, while we're here. If you miss any of our picks here at Tony's Picks YouTube channel on our Morning Steam show, you can subscribe to them by going over to Tony'sPicks.com, click on the All Cappers tab and choosing Morning Steam. There you can go to the I'm actually not even doing it right, am I, Mindy? Just want to show, let me show this right now anyways, as far as where to find our handicapper records and things like that. But let's see. You can go over to
you got to go to the Who's Hot.
Who's Hot. That's where it's at. And you can choose a spread here and NHL. And I think, right, but it doesn't necessarily show, it just shows our record, right, if I'm not mistaken, our record with Team Steam, right?
Yeah.
So 9-7 as a spread on the puck line. So, all right. I don't think we can break it down any more than that, other than you can go into
you would have to go into our individual and do like a custom NHLer. Yeah, and then find
and again, I believe that is on the way. Well, as far as putting the team in, I think you'd have to type in maybe the word Arizona, and you might be able to do it on the individual page there, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
I don't know. I could try to show that, but I don't want to bore the audience or take up too much time there. But let's see here, because you can go into the search and but it would just show all the Arizonas, I think. But this is a way to do something. There's a Coyotes win right there on the puck line.
See, look at that. We knew it.
Yeah. right? There's no, that was with Buffalo we played. So, okay, we've done very well. I'll just
When
say
the
we've done
Coyotes
pretty
were
well
around.
with
Look at all
the
those wins.
Coyotes.
Over.
That was 3 straight right there, right?
Right.
We had under, and over in 3 straight Coyotes games. So maybe let's go back and look at the total.
Right.
There's a loss with Coyotes on the puck line. There's a win with Coyotes on the puck line. There we faded Coyotes puck line, but you can see how this works. If you really needed to see or wanted to even break it down, how handicappers do in with specific teams or situations. I think that's an interesting feature. I don't think Tony has the time necessarily to break it down or show this in depth of a feature on the website, or it might not be as important. But again, you could type in a particular team name and see how people have done with that. Well, I guess I choose the wrong one because we're in Teams team. Maybe we just haven't had a game where involving that these two Monday night teams tonight, I guess. So no problem there. But you see how it works. You could actually break it down and look by team of sorts there as well. So just a different feature. And don't forget our homepage features as well. Click on the best bets tab. Everyone's got their best bets loaded up. Tiffany Collins is in there. The GM, Tony Mindy, also tonight. Prob is in there with a best bet. Also our 3-pack or multi-pack packages. Collins in there with a Money Monday 3-pack. Daniel with a 3-pack. Tiffany with a 3-pack. Mindy's got her 7-pack coming with all the sports tonight for $45.
Yeah, why not?
Pick up that package with Mindy for sure. Click on the All Cappers tab to get signed up. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Saves you 20% off all premium pick packages. All right, Mindy, great job, great show. We're back. We're gonna get more going, I think, with college basketball tomorrow, and I don't know. It's not time to break down the bowls just yet, but uh, any reaction to what we saw with the picks yesterday, Mindy?
No, not really. Again, I think the top four probably, is what it should be. I don't necessarily feel bad with Alabama not getting in. So yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. I think they're going to be great games, no matter how you look at it, Ramon. I'm really excited for those.
Okay, because I wasn't necessarily suggesting, I didn't think when I said that Alabama had moved from 15-1 to 50-1 to win the national championship. I think that was the indication that they were left out. And in fact, you could see books starting to pump out lines before the announcements even came for the teams that it looked like it was going to be. The fact that TCU was moved up to third, you know, did they deserve it, or were they just avoiding the Big Ten matchup? But they weren't. I don't think the director was quite clear. I think he was talking a lot of gobbledygook, for lack of a better term. I think he was just trying to skate around the question, saying we didn't want the Big Ten to have a rematch in that first matchup,
Right.
so move TCU up to number 3. But again, I don't think TCU, is better than maybe 2 or 3 of those teams. If you put an odds maker on the board and tried to come up with the 4 best teams, but maybe TCU is the more compelling product at this time. And I didn't mean to make fun of you, Coach Saban, but I wasn't the only one, apparently, with his groveling there. I think you said something about it too.
He looked
Mindy.
pretty desperate on there, is what I kind of thought, without making a very good case for his team, actually.
Yeah. So, anyways, okay, we'll see those matchups, and the lines are definitely out. I've already put a premium
I
pickup
saw
for one
that.
of the games. So, with those 4 teams, I just want to thank everybody, especially the newbies in the chat. I don't mean to call you. I hope I don't disrespect you with that. But Barber Life, he came in with plays today too. Barber Life, Orlando, OKC, Charlotte, Toronto, Memphis, Houston, Phoenix, and Indy. So, thank you, Barber Life. Scotch was here. Curtis Mann was here. OKC and Memphis, Curtis, hopefully you're still here. These were the NBA plays today, OKC and Memphis. He was looking for those. So I never noticed Curtis Man and C Man. I'm running double accounts there, and let me know if that's you, so I refer to you appropriately. It could be we're such a big audience. We have two mans in here of the Man fam. Chip Plylar joined us today, Mindy. Great to have him as well. Blake was here tonight. And we also had Matt D joined us as well as always. Thank you, Matt. Multiple comments today from him. I think that was it. Ibrahim also, thank you. All right, Mindy, thanks a lot. Good job. For Mindy on, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.